But I'm sure they're very stealthy bird. You look at the eyes and you know that they are good at night. They can move at night because they have large eyes. So because they move more at night, probably there are many more birds than we think there are. That's our hope. And at least I'm sure they are nesting in Rajshahi division, Padma river banks. This is another bird of the same place. All the large river lapping. Its name is river lapping. It can only survive on the river bank. And they are threatened again. But both in Rajshahi division and in Bandarban, Shanko river, we see them breeding. So we hope that if these two places, some of these places can be kept undisturbed, probably they will survive. This is a very special bird in the sense that is globally vulnerable, and we have discovered this bird only last year after 140 years. They were seen in Bangladesh last year after 140 years. 140 years before our scientists wrote that they are plentiful in Dhaka. We found them in Dhaka, but we didn't find anywhere. Then a year before, first time I discovered in Tango Haur, and I wrote a paper which was published, and then another scientist went and discovered the nest in Tango Haur, and its nesting area is not known, like where it nests in the world. It exists only in the subcontinent, these areas, but we don't know where this nesting ground. But we have discovered this year that its major nesting ground is Rajshahi division, or the chores of Padma, because we found 100 pair nesting there in Rajshahi and Chapai Nawabganj only this year, and we need to save these places where it nests in the grass. It's on the ground, but in the reeds. But I went this year to find that all the reeds are cut away and carted away, and then they are burnt also. Whatever is left is burned there. So we are trying to stop that. We have appealed to the local administration to stop that, at least to some places where many birds are nesting. We hope that we will become successful. The same place is very special for this white-tailed stonechat. Again, this is a very mysterious bird, because this is little bird, but it used to be called, thought that it is conspecific with the common Eurasian stonechat, but then it was split. It is known now that it is a definitely different species and no interbreeding really. But it occurs very patchily along the Sindh River only in the world, only Sindh River and in the Padma River. So this year we found many nests there and many chicks, and we hope that many people will come to see it, because to see this bird you have to come to Bangladesh. Nowhere else it can be so easily seen, and it exists only in 4 countries: Manipur in India, Sindh River in Pakistan, and some high lakes of Myanmar. I am showing this bird because it is not threatened either globally or in Bangladesh, but it's a very special bird for us. The number is dwindling, and it nests again in the same place of Rajshahi. It's a weaver, but it's not bio-weaver, which is commoner. It is disappearing, and it is sad because its name is named after Bengal. You see that I have put the scientific name there. It's Glossius bengalensis. It's named after Bengal, and we can't let it disappear. But the number in Bangladesh has dwindled very much, though it is doing well elsewhere. But we need to make sure that our children see this bird named after Bengal. So we need to save that Rajshahi chaur again. There is another reason, is this bird. With this, we can conclude the large rivers and go over to the hill forest. We have these semi-evergreen forest over the undulating place that we have, very little place in Chittagong and Sylhet division. And there are very special birds, they are very colorful because to see colorful birds you need to enter forest, because in the dark forest these creatures need to be colorful to be seen. So in the forest the birds are very colorful, and out in the open you see dull, like grey heron, like egrets. But in the forest the birds are very beautiful, and we are losing, you all know that we are losing the forest very fast. This is, though globally near threatened, it is heavily endangered in Bangladesh. This is the largest hornbill of the world, great hornbill. And because this is large, a lot of meat is hunted down by the tribals. We don't go and hunt there because we can't go there with guns, because tribal people have guns in their home. Or nearly every home of some tribe, like Mro, every Mro home has a gun. And there are a lot of people who have nothing else to do but sit with it for a whole day. Even after 10 days, if it can shoot one, it's worthwhile. Like for him, his time is paid for. So if you go through that tribal villages, you'll find every thatched house has the bill, 2, 3. They eat the fish, the bird, and keep this large showy bill as a decoration. And we still don't know what to do, because that's not an easy area for conservation. We can't go and suddenly impose things that they have been traditionally doing. We need their people to do the work, and we still don't have many friends from the ethnic population who are interested in its conservation and can go and spread the message there. And this is, I think, this is a good work that any one of you can take up. This is worthwhile. Like, go through your friend list and find out if you have. Now friend lists are very big of you because of Facebook. See if there are people, more people, who can take it up, but they have to do the work themselves. We from outside can only create probably some confusion, but not good conservation work. This is another great bird of the hills, the spot-bellied eagle owl. That's large eagle owl that can take a deer cub as its food, and we still see few surviving in our hills, but it's globally okay. It's doing all right elsewhere, because it itself has no enemy. Only food shortage is the problem probably. In the forest, it may not find its food in Bangladesh. This is another colorful bird of the forest. I promised to show you a few colorful birds because we have entered the forest. This is the red-headed trogon. That's the only trogon we have. Trogons are all eastern bird. This is the westmost region, like India. Beyond India, west, you cannot find any trogon. This is a large bird, very colorful. The male is very colorful. It is not in full color yet. Like in breeding season, its head will be a glowing red. Very beautiful bird of the forest. Only in our hill forest you can see mountain imperial pigeon, large pigeon, very large, and like other pigeons, they are always in flock, and that is the problem for its survival. When they land on one tree, they may be in hundreds, so all Mro will go with the guns, because this is really very, they say, I hope it is not true, they say that the meat is very delicious. Because if it is so, it will soon disappear, because we find the number is dwindling very fast. This is another beautiful bird of the forest, and it's called Malayan night heron. It's a large bird. We have two night herons. One is very common all over the country, but this is very large and colorful bird. It only thrives in the hill streams. The fork tail. the oriental region is identified as forktail region because it exists only here. And this forktail, the tail is very forked and long, and we can find only in our hill streams. Beautiful bird of the hill stream, white-capped water-red start. So it exists only where this fast-flowing water is going because they pick up the food from their special insect, which doesn't exist elsewhere. Very special bird of high altitude. Even in Bangladesh, we don't see it in all hill forests except the highest one, the black bulbul. This peculiar bird with peculiar calls exists in the edges of the hill forest. White-browed scimitar babbler. And this is my last photo, and last photo of the hill birds. There's no special reason for showing this bird except that whenever I see this bird, I say, world is so beautiful. It's really unbelievable that such a beauty exists. Photo cannot really show the whole beauty of this bird. Only tragedy is that the only male is so colorful. The female, you can't even locate, it's so ordinary. Well, with this way, I'm coming to the birds of the five sides, and but that's not all, by the way. I have left out many birds, many sides. Do not think that whatever I said is the last word of the birds of Bangladesh. There are other sides, like deciduous forest, sal forest. I have excluded that because there are fewer birds. And also I have time in which I have to finish it. Then we have Bay of Bengal. We visited Bay of Bengal and found new bird for Bangladesh only 2 years back. But I know that many of you will not go there to even do bird watching or to do studies. So that is excluded. And human neighborhood, I don't have to say anything. You can see the birds there whenever you wish. And with that, we come to the end of my talks. Now it is time for interaction.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a very insightful and interesting session. And now for the question answers. We would be hoping the students, after this very interesting presentation, have some questions for our dear
Comments also. I would
Also
appreciate
comments.
very much. I'm sure you will have more to say on whatever I have said, many of you. Especially a young student saying that I will do some study on that bird at that place. That will inspire me.
Sir, I have a question.
Name. Name.
Name?
Name
I'm
department.
Rathwaji Marma from a student of Environmental Science and Management and Anthropology. So you all of the birds you described today are vulnerable, endangered, and so on, right? So my question is, what are the reasons behind them? You already told one of the reasons of, for the extinction of the hill birds, hunting. And I have the same experience too because I'm from the hill tribes. So my question is that, can you please shortly describe? Thank you.
Yeah, simple answer is that we are taking away the feeding and breeding place of the bird. That's reason number one. Hunting is this much smaller problem. The birds also, we don't realize that birds also need place to feed and more importantly, place to breed. They sometimes can share land with us for feeding, but certainly not for breeding. Very few birds will breed where near our home. No, it's only about 100 birds that will breed in human habitations. So we are mostly taking away the breeding place and of course also the feeding place. That's reason number 1, 2, 3. And hunting probably is 4, 5. Thank you.
Any other questions? We have time for just 2 questions, so please.
Sir, I in fact have 2 questions. Is that okay? All right. First of all, sir, wonderful presentation. I'm very interested in wildlife and especially birds. So, uh, I think you mentioned a student from NSU. I think his name was Siam. Is that correct? I've been following his work for a long time, but one of the things that he doesn't do on his Facebook account is give answers to questions. So I have one question for you. The disappearance of the masked finfoot, do you have any reason behind this? That was question number 1. And question number 2, if there are interested people, especially students who want to work with you or go to places that you go to see birds and maybe study, can there be, like, would you be able to give opportunities to students? Thank you.
Thank you. The answer to the first question is that we don't know. We don't know why the masked finfoot is disappearing so fast. We know there's some hunting, very little really. That's not the reason. We know that water is poisoned by, of course, industrial pollutant, and also recently by poison fishing practice. This is growing. So that may or may not have some impact on that. We don't know. We have to work. We just don't know. But for the second, yes, we have several kind of help for the students who want to work on birds. One is you can join us to learn some techniques. Like we do bird ringing, and we always take newcomer to learn it. Hard work, but you can learn bird banding, bird ringing. Another is that just advisory, like we can say where to work, what to do. Third is we give a scholarship from our club. We have a scholarship for masters and MPhil students. This is small one, like we give 45,000 taka to each student if we accept their research proposal. But it's only a little, it's some help. So you can always look for this. We are very happy to, in fact, we have more scholarship really every year than the takers. We don't have takers. Like last year, we only one student, Ishrat was successful applicant. Just one scholarship. We had 4. So 3 is carried over to this next year, which is next year. Well, you can always seek any of these help from Bangladesh Bird Club.
Thank you very much, sir. Unfortunately, apologies from our side due to lack of time. We cannot entertain any more questions. But if anyone is very interested, they can come and they can meet sir anytime. Sir has given some very interesting proposals for the students over here. So with that, thank you very much, sir.
Well, I can't speak for everyone here, but I personally found that presentation fascinating and a supplement to my studies this semester. So, ladies and gentlemen, a second massive round of applause for our guest speaker. Right. So we're near the end of our session for today, but before we conclude, I would like to request our Honorable VC Sir and our Dean Sir to present a token of appreciation to our speaker. Well, here we have our speaker gifting 2 books to our Honorable VC Sir. And now I'd like to invite our faculty members to sit with our speaker and our Honorable Dean Sir and VC Sir for a photo session. Please, so if I could have all the faculty members on stage. Students, if you could kindly remain seated, the session isn't over yet, so just bear with me for a few more minutes. Thank you very much, everyone. And students, please remain seated still. There's one more formality to get through. I will request our volunteers to assist our guest speaker as well as our faculties towards the refreshment side.